What's up, family? Shocking news has hit the retail world as Walmart stores across the country have recently announced that they're going to be closing. This unprecedented move has left many wondering what's the next move for the industry giant. In this video, we'll be diving deep into the reasons behind these closures and exploring the potential impact on both consumers and the economy. What's on your mind today? Well, on everybody's mind is gas, prices, housing, the stock market, your 401k, and maybe a Roth IRA. Well, let me tell you, the biggest concern for all of us right now is inflation and cash flow. If your cash flow hasn't grown over the past few years, then you're in the same boat as a lot of Americans who are panicking as prices at Walmart, Target, Costco, and other stores continue to rise. Has anyone felt any relief in the grocery store since they told us that inflation was going down? I didn't think so. Speaking of stores, did you know that Walmart is closing some of their stores permanently in just a few days? In fact, some of those stores will be closing as of today. A spokesperson for the company sent out a letter in Portland saying that the store at 4200 Southeast Avenue and one at Hayden Meadows will be closing right now. The letter said that the locations were underperforming and that the decision to close both were based on several factors. The two locations will close on March the 24th. As I said, it will be closing today, and around 580 employees will be laid off. Now, economics are predicting a hard landing for markets, the housing market, the stock market, and even higher inflation throughout the remaining of this year. That's something most of us can't handle, and it's not getting any better, guys. I've told you guys on the previous videos as well. But seriously, Walmart of all stores, Walmart's net worth, according to Google, is around $380 billion. When a multi-billion-dollar company decides to shut down all of their stores in a particular area, then you know things are getting pretty bad. And the biggest question is, why are these Walmart stores closing? Well, the problem is theft. And we're not talking about petty theft. No, my friends, we're talking about organized crime. They're doing this in broad daylight and no one seems to care. We even heard from Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said that theft is an issue and it's higher than it has been historically. He also mentioned that local law enforcement needs to be staffed and be a good partner with them to help solve this particular problem. If this isn't corrected over time, prices will be much higher at the stores and stores will eventually end up closing as well. That's the reality. But after March, two Walmart stores in Portland, Oregon are gone, leaving at least 600 employees without jobs and facing potential layoffs or transfers. And that's the thing about theft. We may think it won't affect us, but in reality, it hits us even harder. We need to be vigilant and work together to address this particular issue for the sake of our communities and our economy, and for Walmart, of course. But anyways, guys, what is going to happen? Well, because these stores are closing, prices may go up. Consumers will take home fewer items. If stores in the area continue to close altogether, there will be less competition and prices will rise even more. And in fact, history suggests that this will likely have a negative impact on the local economy. While Walmart, a multi-billion-dollar company, may lose a store or two, the residents who live in the areas will struggle to afford even higher expenses at getting those things from other stores as well. So anyways, guys, imagine if your local Walmart suddenly shut down completely. It would be devastating for your local economy and surrounding businesses, and it could even put the community's safety at risk. And you know what's even more sad about this? We're spending billions of dollars overseas and pledging billions of dollars more to help other countries with their financial problems. What about the people who live right here in the United States? What about our seniors who rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA beneficiaries, and all of the above, as well as with 18 states now officially ending the pandemic era states of emergency or the emergency allotments, which included food stamp benefits. Many households are being forced to line up for a chance to get food from their local food banks. And yes, guys, SNAP and EBT benefits have gone down by at least $90 per month for a majority of Americans. And some seniors saw their food stamps drop from $281 down to $22 last year. Now, I know those are just a few, but some other people have the ability to go to work every every day. Others rely on government subsidies. Some of these people genuinely need the benefits, but they're not receiving enough support from the government. And moving to Ukraine isn't a viable solution, but it is frustrating, guys. It's frustrating for everyone to see how our own Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen talking about the need to provide economic support to maintain stability in Ukraine while people here in the United States are struggling to make ends meet. What about the economic stability of Americans? It's not like we're all flush with cash or making $400,000 per year. So why is our focus on a country so far away when people right here at home are waiting in line for hours just to get food? It's struggling for many people out there with high prices on basic necessities like mayonnaise and SNAP benefits not enough to cover the cost of living. And with inflation on the rise and the possibility of a recession, things may only get worse. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that little bit of knowledge with you about these particular stores closing, and it could lead to more stores closing here in the near future as well. But they are not the only ones that are struggling right now, guys. We have seen a huge shift in the tech giants out there. And yes, guys, we have this article right here that talks about the tech giants are still making a ton of money right now, but layoffs are coming harder and much faster. Yes, guys, we've previously seen where a majority of the tech companies such as Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and other companies have been laying off thousands of individuals, and it looks like they are doing it once again. Yes, guys, we just received word that Amazon and Twitch are now laying off an additional 9,400 more employees. And that is not it, guys. We also just heard that tech consulting giant Accenture is also cutting 19,000 jobs. So yes, guys, these are just a few, but anyways, this particular information was announced earlier this week, and that these particular companies are saying that they need to cut costs as well as streamline some of their operations and try to grapple with the economic conditions that we are in right now. So again, guys, Americans are struggling not only just to put food on their table, but they are also struggling just to keep a job. I know last year we saw an influx of individuals ended up quitting their job. I believe they called it the big quit. But anyways, guys, I wonder about those particular people and whether or not they are still satisfied with the decision that they made last year, especially now after the economy is doing much worse. It's much harder for them to actually find a job to put food on their tables. But anyways, guys, what has caused all of this? Well, can we blame it on our fearless leader, the President of the United States? I don't know if you can necessarily say that, but I will say he plays a major role in all of this fiasco that is going on right now. And because of that, guys, President Biden's approval rating has now dropped to the lowest point of his presidency, according to the latest survey. And yes, guys, President Biden's approval rating is nearing its lowest point of his presidency, according to a latest poll, following a string of bank failures that have thrown even more uncertainty into the economy. Now, Biden administration has scrambled recently to deal with the high-profile bank failures that shook the United States banking systems and threatened a wider economic crisis. The banking wobbles come as the federal government has fought against inflation that has remained stubbornly high. And then earlier this week, we did finally receive word from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, in which he has decided to go ahead and raise interest rates another 1/4 percentage point, which means that pain is coming our way. Things are going to get worse, and they're going to continue to get worse throughout the remaining of this year. However, he did shed a little bit of good news in regards to his meeting from the FOMC that we heard earlier this week. He did say we are at the point to where we may only see one more interest rate hike sometime later this year. So that is some very promising news, I will say. But when will the interest rates continue to come back down again? We are still waiting for that. That could, in fact, improve the economy, especially after we're dealing with what we're dealing with in this country right now. So anyways, guys, like I said, Walmart is closing their stores, and hopefully this doesn't trickle down to more stores. Bank closures are continuing to happen between small banks, medium-sized banks, and credit unions. And hopefully these particular individuals do not create what's called a bank run, which could cause more banks to end up collapsing as well. And then we also have multiple layoffs going around the country in regards to tech companies as well as regular companies as well. Thousands and thousands of people continue to lose their jobs as they struggle just to make ends meet and put food on their table. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today, and I hope all this information was helpful to you.